So today I got a call from the family who I'm keeping bees on their property to help them with ag exemption, and then of course I end up with extra space to keep bees, and they also have a few cows. I appreciate y'all adding a little bit of excitement to my day. And there is fencing up around the actual bee yard, but it's basically just cattle fencing, and so, you know, a really anxious, excited cow, if they see some nice food to be had, they will push past that fencing if they're able. So it's been reinforced a couple of times, but you know, apparently where there's a cow will, there's a way. So we're making a quick trip out to the north yard because the family told me that they think one of the hives was knocked over by the cows. The cows were getting stung inside the actual fencing, so they had to let them out of there. So hopefully it's not a huge issue. I did give the bees just a little bit to calm down. The other thing that made it a little complicated on a day like today is that Texas spring this year has been absolutely bonkers. Normally, I wouldn't be running my yard sprinklers by now. It would be incredibly hot. We're just getting dry weather. We'd be seeing cracking in the dark soil out in the back of the yard. This year has not been that way at all. It has been one of the wettest springs I can recall in this area of North Texas. And even this morning, right before I got that note about the cows in the bee enclosure, we had literally just had a massive downpour of a couple inches of rain in about an hour. And so these bees are probably not going to be in a great mood, if we're honest. One tip that I will absolutely give beekeepers is when you know spring is coming, I would absolutely make sure that you essentially have your beekeeping go bag in your vehicle, because there will be unexpected things that come up. You will get unexpected calls from people who say, hey, there's a swarm in my front yard, and if you can't respond to it quickly, somebody else will get that swarm. Or if you have bees at multiple locations, you will get those occasional calls from people saying, I think there's something you need to come take a look at in your bee operation. So today is one of those days, and I'm happy to say that I always keep my boots, my bee suits, my smoker, my tools all in the back of the truck this time of year, just for situations like these. So let's go see what we're dealing with. Did you have an exciting morning? And y'all are over here hanging out pretty chill now. Just glad it wasn't your baby. You can still tell from the sky out here that it's kind of a dreary day after that rain that came this morning, but I figure there aren't a whole lot of bees out in the field, so I'm gonna have a little bit of liquid courage before I get out there. And unlike the Canadian beekeeper Ian Stepler, I don't have any Baileys in this. It's just good old coffee. This normally firms up pretty quick after the sun comes out, but you can see here why I tend not to try and drive my truck back here right after a fresh rain. Yeah, we can see from here. And of course, wouldn't you know it, the one that they would choose to knock over would be the meanest of all of my colonies. So I just talked to the property owner, and it was funny because she said that she's surprised it was as little impact as it was, because the cows got in and then they couldn't get out. There were 3 cows that had gotten in there, and they were literally running around the actual bee yard. And you can see like right here behind me, that's one of a couple of T-posts that got kind of bent down because of it. And then over on the other side is actually where the cows got in. They didn't even push through these cattle panels over here. There's this other fencing on this row over here that the cows pushed in and then apparently climbed under. So them getting back out is quite the miracle. And somehow that one hive is the only one that they ended up knocking down. Now I do already have some bees bumping me, so I know they're gonna be a little wound up in here. I generally use these nitrile gloves, and I would say 99.9% of the time, I never sustain stings. But this one hive is one that I'm in the process of requeening because of her genetics. A lot of people say, oh, Africanized bees, I've got an angry hive, whatever. And what they're talking about is they've got some bees who are flying around them, bumping into them, maybe get a little agitated during a hive check. That is not, in my opinion, what a hot hive is. This hive was truly a hot hive. When I would open the lid, not even go into them, I would have them coming out basically like it was a war rally. And the first time with the nitrile gloves, they were balled up around my wrists, stinging through, and I had done absolutely nothing in the colony. Additionally, they found that the zipper pulls on the pants of my suit had come up, and they were going in and up my pant legs. There was nothing I could do to deter them. I would go 150 yards away and still have bees on me trying to get in. It's also the only hive that I've ever had that when the bees got worked up, legit found a way to sting me repeatedly through my triple layer suit. So when I say hot hive, that's what I mean by hot hive. So that is the only reason why I'm going double on the nitrile. And we'll see how this goes. Hopefully I can set them up with minimal disturbance. Hey there, girls. I'll try and help y'all out. Don't get mad at me. They're mostly just sitting down here looking at me at the bottom of this box. But I doubt I'm going to be able to lift both of those boxes together. They're all just festooning down here at the bottom. So far, so good. I got a few coming after me, but not much. I say that, and then here they come. You can smell that banana. So, in case you needed evidence, this is my hot hive. It's always super goofy. Like, they're not just like bumping me, they're all legit trying to find their way in. It's important when working a hive like this that you do everything you can to close off every opening, and make sure really that that Velcro right there, well, there's my point. Is just as I was telling you, whatever you do, make sure that Velcro zipper is completely enclosed, or else you'll get stung. I realized in that moment that my zipper was not completely closed up, and I had one girl get in and get me on my temple, right below my glasses. Even though now the bee yard is like way behind me, these girls are still following me. The ideal thing is you go ahead, use your hive tool to scrape the stinger out so that it doesn't pump as much venom into the wound. However, when they sting you inside your veil, last thing you're going to do is go opening your veil to pull the stinger out. The unfortunate reality then is that stinger stays in there. So if you know anything about bee stingers, you know that there are 3 parts, and the 2 parts on the outside are barbed. And so when a bee stinger goes in, they're working basically against your skin to pull that stinger deeper. And so even if the bee somehow manages to pull itself free, which this one has, she's still inside my suit right now. So even if she manages to pull herself free, that stinger is still going to continue to pump venom into the actual wound. And so you're probably going to have a little bit more of a localized reaction to that sting than you would, say, just a teeny tiny prick through your gloves. So the more you know. See if we can see that sting at all. Yep, it's right here. Stinger is still in. My hands are always shaky, but you see that? Stinger is still there. So I'm gonna get that sucker out. Man, you can even kind of see it from the side over there. That's so goofy. So I suppose the lesson here is that don't get cocky, because bees will always humble you in a big way. Just realize there's always going to be something you forget or something you could have done better. And you just learn and you keep moving forward.